What's up, guys? I'm just going to show you my stock portfolio, my recent investment, and yeah, hopefully you guys get some value out of this. So I took out a 20.4 thousand pound loan, um, personal loan, just to invest in my stocks and shares ISA. If you guys don't know what a stocks and shares ISA is, it's just basically an individual savings account which is tax wrapped. So any dividends or capital gains you guys or profits in general, which is made inside the investment account, is tax free, so you don't have to pay any tax on it. So the only limits or the only downside is that there's a £20,000 investment limit per tax year, so you can only invest up to £20,000 per tax year, which is a decent amount of money, but of course it's a limit. So let's just quickly check my account just to see. So individual savings account. So I borrowed £20.4 thousand and invested about 18,000, just over 18,000 in a portfolio that I made with comprised of 5 stocks, 5 or 6, I believe. I think it's around 6. Let's just quickly check. Sorry for the slowness. Okay, something's wrong here. There we go. All right, so this portfolio, which is called Ultimate Final Portfolio, and the loan-based portfolio are both the same in terms of the holdings. They both are comprised of the same stocks, which are, I believe, Alphabet C, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Tesla, and Alphabet A. These stocks, of course, I've invested in for quite some time, and they've performed the best out of all stocks I've ever invested in, and I've invested in thousands of stocks. They've uh, been consistent in their returns, high and non-volatile, very low volatility, high returns. So I decided to make a portfolio, which I won't change, or I will abstain from changing, which I'll invest all most of my future capital. I think I'll probably stick with this portfolio for as long as possible. I don't see a point of changing it. So probably the riskiest stocks in this portfolio are probably Tesla and Amazon. So if I do change the stock allocation, will probably be to remove those two. But just to keep some diversification, I decided to pick quite a wide range of stocks. I've abstained from dividend paying stocks because I don't like them. I think that the market cap, I believe the return on investment for dividend stocks are a lot lower than non-dividend or low dividend paying stocks, but that's besides the point. The point I'm trying to show in this video is, well, not the point, but I just wanted to show the overall progress. I invested the 18,000. I should quickly check actually the specific amount. £18,807 a few days ago. I think it was about two or 3 days ago. The goal is 206,000. It's not a specific goal I set. It's just automatically set by Trading 212. I'll probably change it. As you can see, we're on track. But what I've noticed about these particular stocks as a portfolio is that the gains are quite steady, and they fluctuate around. Once they've hit a certain marker, they kind of fluctuate around that marker and then gradually increase, and they rarely dip. The overall portfolio gain rarely dips by a large amount. So I think that's definitely good. The goal is not to make the above the interest. So the interest is about £6,000, just under £6,000 in 5 years. So 6,000 plus 20.4, which is about 27,000. So for me to make a profit or to make a gain, I would have to, considering transaction costs, which were about £150 or something like that. For me to gain a profit or for this loan to make sense, I would have to make above £27,000 in 5 years. Actually, I wouldn't have to make I would have to make above £6,000 in 5 years, roughly £6,000. Of course, part of the loan wasn't invested. About £2,000 wasn't actually invested. £2,300, something like that. So Yeah, sorry, ignore that message. So yeah, just to make it a worthwhile investment or for the loan to make sense, I'll have to make over £6,000 in, or at least over the interest charge of over 5 years. Not within 5 years, but I would have to make all above that amount in. Well, I have an unlimited time actually. A lot of people think that you have to make, if you take out a loan, you'd have to make more than the interest payment within the interest repayable period, but that isn't actually true. You can essentially, because you're borrowing money, the money's not yours. So if you invest it, the benefit of borrowing money is that you can invest it today, as opposed to um, investing your own money. Or, well, that's not really the idea of investing for returns. I think the idea of investing for returns is that well, first of all, you don't have to use your own money, but also you can invest, even if you do have the capital, you can invest someone else's money and gain on that, and you have an unlimited time to make a return on investment, because once the repayable period is over, in this case 5 years, once I've repaid all the loan, the capital's still going to be invested. So, and it's going to be there for as long as I need it to be. So after 5 years, once I've repaid the entire loan and I've paid the £6,000, if I've made the £6,000, if I've made over £6,000, that's a positive. But if I haven't, let's say I made £4,000, I still have an unlimited amount of time to make the £2,500 or so, or whatever the amount is. And then after I've made that £2,500, anything over that is a gain. So it's not restricted to 5 years to be able to make a return on investment. So that's the positive. So let's just quickly jump back into this portfolio's holdings are identical to this portfolio's holdings, and this one I've held for quite a bit more time than the other one. But I should have put a date of creation on this portfolio. I think from now on I'll put a date of creation on each portfolio I make, but I probably won't be making many anyway, because this is for me the ideal portfolio allocation. So, but what I'll do each year is I'll take out, my goal is to take out £20,000, or at least whatever the maximum allowance is for one of my bank accounts, to take out a personal loan and then invest it in these particular stocks. Of course, considering whether or not the stock portfolio does well with regards to performance. Yeah, to invest the loan into the stock portfolio and then create returns over time that way. So far 10.49%. So the return will fluctuate around that value, 10.49. It will rarely dip more than 1%, which I find quite good with, as you can see, the chart over here. So let's just quickly see if we can move it. Yeah, so as you can see, it's just quite a steady gain, or rather, yeah. So the reason why it's going green and then green and the red, is because with this portfolio, I actually didn't invest the entire amount, which is £3,161, which I invested. I didn't invest all of that at one time. I invested that over time with a auto invest. So auto invest is, I should actually turn that off. It sets up it sets up an automated investment plan with a deposit schedule. So daily, monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, you can have a certain amount of money taken from your bank account and invested into the holdings of the portfolio, without you having to do anything, which is quite good. So you have to rely on your own memory or discipline. So yeah, that's just what I want to show you. I want to show you the overall progress of this portfolio, as well as this portfolio, and hopefully within a month or so, or a few months, which has taken me to have this above 10% return on investment, to hopefully within a few months I'll be making another video to show with the same level of gain for this particular portfolio. I think it's around 30% I would have to make for me to actually, let me just quickly calculate that. So £20,000, 10, 20, 10, yeah, so around 30%, maybe, just under 30% gain. So I think it's taken me a few months to gain 10% of this particular portfolio, and it has the same level of stocks. Not to say that the market is going to behave in the same way, but taken me a few months. Let's just quickly check the first investment just so I can see exactly when this portfolio was created and the first investment was made. How do I check this? I think I can check it here with the history. Yeah, so this might will take quite some time. Let's just go on transactions. Yeah, so sorry, it's taking some time. Just want to check. I think we'll leave it. I think we'll just take too much time. Let me just quickly check if there was a deposit fee. If there was, then I need to include that into the return on investment needed to make a balance. Deposit fee 67. Yeah, deposit fee 67,000. Sorry, £67. Actually, I already incorporated that. Yeah, I already incorporated that. So yeah, so for the 8,000, let me just check the. So there are actually ways using Trading 212 to avoid the deposit fee in some cases. So yeah, let's just avoid that. So yeah, it's taken me a few months. I don't know exactly how many months, but I should have put a date on the a date stamp on the portfolio of the date of creation, but I didn't. So anyway, let's just assume it's taken me a few months, 6 months or so, to make 10% return. So I have to make a 30% return to be able to just under. I have to make less than 30% return to make a return on investment. To make a return of investment, and then above the interest, and then so let's just say 6 times 3, 18 months. So 18 months. So if all goes according to the way it has in the past, which typically doesn't, let's just assume it does in a hypothetical situation, then within 18 months or so, I should be able to return all of the interest back to the bank. Of course, I'm not going to do that because there's no point. But I have a 5 year. I don't even have a 5 year period. I have an unlimited amount of time. But if I can make it within 5 years, then technically I've made it a really good investment. And the loan made sense, a lot of sense. But yeah, I have 18 months, which is less than half of the time of the ideal period, 5 years. So it's pretty good.